Cybernetic Revolution was released on August 6, 2005. The golden age of GOATs had come to an end, as Cyber Dragon would assert its dominance as a 2100 attack special summonable monster and help usher in a new era of play. To complement this shift, a new ban list was released on October 1st, 2005. Lackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, Sinister Serpent, Tribe Infecting Virus, Delinquent Duo, Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed, Mirror Force, and Ring of Destruction were all now banned from sanctioned competitive play. Magician of Faith, Night Assailant, Thousand Eyes Restrict, Tsukiyomi, Book of Moon, Book of Taiyu, Confiscation, Dark Hole, Limiter Removal, Metamorphosis, Nobleman of Crossout, Scapegoat, and Exchange of the Spirit were all now limited to 1 copy each, and Dark Scorpion, Chick the Yellow, Marauding Captain, and Vampire Lord were all now unlimited to 3 copies. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, another week, another episode of History of Yu-Gi-Oh! It feels good to walk away the ultimate winner of our GOAT Best of 3, but the format does contain so many incredibly powerful haymakers that can turn the game on a dime that I would never think of gloating. With the sound on. This week we're playing a different format. Cybernetic Revolution came out and changed the way we play Yu-Gi-Oh! Forever with the introduction of Cyber Dragon, a free special summonable monster that has 2100 attack points. There's a very minor stipulation: your opponent has to control a monster and you don't control any, but that's fulfilled so often and so frequently, especially in old Yu-Gi-Oh!, that you are absolutely able to summon it almost at any time you want. It simultaneously signaled the end of GOAT format and the start of a new way of playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, where special summoning as much per turn matters immensely. However, the format that immediately preceded GOAT was heralded by 2 things: not only the rise of Cyber Dragon, but also a huge ban list. And it can be argued that this ban list did more to shape the upcoming format than the release of Cyber Dragon. As a result, we've got 4 decks that were very well represented at the time. People hadn't really conformed to the new style of playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, and they pretty much represent holdouts from the last format with a couple of cards changed. We've got Bazoo Return, Monarch, Warrior Toolbox, and Tomato Control. Now, the largest difference between this format and the previous one is Spirit Reaper. Spirit Reaper was an incredibly powerful card until Scapegoat became played, because it matches up so poorly against that card specifically. But with no more GOAT in the format, control decks could flex this both defensively in order to prevent their opponent from ever getting in, and offensively to take cards out of their opponent's hand. You could almost always assure you were going to have a monster on your side of the field in a Spirit Reaper, which made decks like Monarch that are incredibly good at tributing things that are stuck behind, Tomato, which is incredibly good at finding Spirit Reaper, and generally good control decks like Warrior Toolbox very, very playable. Bazoo Return is an extremely silly high roll deck, and as a result it is also represented. I've got a couple of spins, but I'm not too attached to anything. I guess I'd like to play Monarch again. It's a fun strategy. Let's see what we end up with. Well, that was easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cybernetic Revolution. Cyber Dragon's here, he's here to stay, and he is here to mess shit up. This card is phenomenal. It's one of the best cards out of Cybernetic Revolution. Maybe one of the only playable cards out of the set, but that doesn't matter because it's impactful enough to make a significant difference. And since our departure from GOAT format, we also have a new ban list, which has shifted a lot of things around. We have some cards that used to be forbidden that are now limited again, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. As you can see here with the wheel, we have some decks that might look familiar to you from previous episodes, might have been on the wheel before, that you might have seen showcased a little bit. That's because, while yes, Cyber Dragon does change the dynamic of the format, we shift away from a super heavy control format to a bit of a faster format, a very tempo-oriented format, where we want to really just keep one another off of monsters, both for Monarch's sake, but with the reintroduction of hand control. Spirit Reaper and Don Zayluke both are very powerful cards, and now that Scapegoat is limited, there's a much higher probability that these cards can connect and rip cards out of the opponent's hand. So you're going to see a lot of one-for-one-ing type of effects go on in this episode, and I cannot wait to show you guys. So we have 4 decks: Bazoo Return, Monarch, Warrior Toolbox, and Tomato Control. Bazoo Return is very similar to the Bazoo deck I played a couple of episodes ago. It's just modified for the brand new format. Monarch is very similar to maybe what something like Joseph played previously, but it also takes advantage of a lot of just the good generic cards that are in the format. Maybe not as slow as Soul Control, but the Monarchs are just blowouts and kind of set the bar for what the highest attack stat is in the format. Warrior Toolbox is one of the strongest decks of the format, since Don Zalug is a warrior and Reinforcement of the Army can easily tutor it. You don't have to rely on drawing something such as Spirit Reaper, and so this might be one of the best incarnations that Warrior Toolbox really has, and plus Cyber Dragon really helps put on the pressure. And then we also have Tomato Control over here. This is very similar to some of the Tomato old school slower control decks, but there's still a lot of tempo going on here. So we're gonna go ahead and spin and see what we get here. Hopefully we get something good. I would be happy with honestly any of these. I think this format is actually a ton of fun, as long as you can get over the fact that it isn't GOAT format. And it looks like we're going to be on Monarch, baby.
So here's the list, and yeah, this tracks. It's pretty much every powerful monster from the previous format. I'm talking about Dakoichi, Sangan, Spirit Reaper, Magician of Faith, plus a spell and trap card lineup that is almost entirely dependent on what was hit and unhit. You can see that Confiscation and Darkhole have crept their way back onto the limited list at the cost of Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, and Delinquent Duo. May you rest in... yeah, we're past the first minute. Hell. I'm very excited to be playing this list, an adaptation of Matt Lorenz's top 4 SJC San Francisco build, so changed because he played a little bit later, and as a result had access to cards like Pot of Avarice, which at this point have not yet been printed. They also weren't playing Cyber Dragon, and I gotta show that sucker off. I'll walk you through the individual monsters. We've got a copy of Breaker the Magical Warrior for obvious purposes, incredibly powerful card, even at 1. 2 copies of Cyber Dragon. It was not particularly standard to play 3 copies of this card. It's very good, you can summon it and walk over almost anything in the game, but it does require your opponent to have a monster, and more importantly, it commands an impressive price tag. You don't want to be spending hundreds of dollars on a vanilla now, do you? We've got 3 copies of Dakoichi the Battle-Chanted Locomotive. This card, when flipped, can draw a card, and then draw an additional card for each Bachoki, which we will never have. 2 Gravekeeper's Spy. This card sucks. I apologize. Some people played 2, some people played 3, but no one was particularly happy about playing it at all. 2 copies of Magical Merchant is going to get you any of your very powerful spells and traps. Magician of Faith has been limited on this list, and we are only allowed to play 1 copy. That's probably for the best. Next, Mobius, our first and most powerful monarch, followed by Sangan, Double Spirit Reaper, Double Thestalos, our second most powerful monarch, Tsukiyomi, who has incidental synergy with a ton of the deck. We are kind of flip control at the end of the day, and Zaborg. For spells and traps, we have Book of Moon, Brain Control, Confiscation, Darkhole, Heavy Storm, 2 copies of My Body as a Shield. This might seem a little suspect, but remember, we're tribute summoning monsters. We don't want them going to the graveyard particularly easily, and if you look at our trap lineup, you'll see that pretty much every trap in the format eats these guys alive. A copy of Mystical Space Typhoon, Nobleman of Crossout, Premature Burial, Snatch Steal, Soul Exchange, and a trap lineup of Bottomless, Call of the Haunted, 3 Sack, a Torrential, and 2 Widespread Ruin. This card saw widespread play, but it is not good. In the side deck, we're on 2 copies of Cypher Soldier. Alex is probably going to whine if we ever summon this against him, but it's an incredibly common side deck during this period. There's a lot of good warrior monsters. Speaking of, we've got 2 copies of DD Assailant, which banishes any monster that destroys it by battle. 2 copies of Legendary Jujitsu Master. We really want to trick our opponents into attacking our face-down monsters game 1, and then game 2 we can board into these suckers and blow them out. Mystic Swordsman level 2 is a great answer to setting stuff in defense position. 2 enemy controller helps us turn boards very quickly. Swords of Revealing Light if Alex is on an aggro deck. Ceasefire if we need to go over the top, I suppose. Everyone seemed to play 1 copy of this in their side deck, and I have no idea why. 2 copies of Dust Tornado and 2 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. In the extra, we finally got some interesting stuff. Cyber End Dragon and Cyber Twin Dragon. I mean, we're never going to make them, but it's interesting.
All right, you guys, so this is the deck we are bringing to today's duel, and man, does this bring back some memories. I would take decks very similar to this to locals when I was younger, and maybe when I could actually afford Cyber Dragon because it was incredibly expensive when it was first released, but man, this is just pure nostalgia for me. So this is Monarch. We are playing a total of 5 Monarchs, Mobius, Thestalos, and a Zaborg. We're siding a second Zaborg in case we need more monster removal, but we have plenty of ways to access these Monarchs that are 1 tributes. We have Brain Control, we have Snatch Steal, and we of course have Soul Exchange. This is nice because we can use it on set monsters. That way it doesn't trigger flip effects. Yeah, we can't attack, but honestly, the exchange is worth it because we're going to be getting a lot of tempo out of it. Let's go ahead and do the card by card, though. First up, one Breaker, just an all-star taking care of back row, and a very well-statted card. 3 copies of Cyber Dragon. I just want to play 3 of this. It may not be correct in a deck like this because you are going to be establishing monsters, and if you have monsters, Cyber Dragon isn't good, but I don't care. I just want to play 3 Cyber Dragon. 2 copies of DD Assailant. This is a nice card because it can remove some of the bigger monsters in the format, and it's just a very well-statted monster in and of itself, being at 1700, paired with the 1 DD Warrior Lady, which we have a little bit more control of when we want to banish cards. 2 copies of Dakoichi. You're going to see us protecting Dakoichi and cards like Gravekeeper Spy a lot with Sakuretsu Armor, with Widespread Ruin, as well as Bottomless Trap Hole, because if we can get these to stick, not only do we get to draw a card, but then we can tribute for a Monarch. There is just so much advantage to be had. 2 copies of Gravekeeper Spy. This is nice because on flip, we can special summon another copy. Some decks opt to play 3 of this, and then a copy of Guard, which is also another target. I'm just going with the small 2-card engine because I didn't really have space, but these are still very good because 2000 is actually a little bit difficult to get over unless you specifically have Cyber Dragon or something like a Monarch already established. 1 Magician of Faith. It's limited now, but honestly, that's fine. I think we have plenty of good spells to choose from, so I'm not too bent out of shape about it. 2 copies of Mobius. Mobius is especially important in this format because you're going to see a lot of Sakuretsu Armors, Widespread Ruins, things that are just easy 1-for-1 removal, so Mobius can clear the way for those before they have a chance to actually trigger when you attack in the battle phase, and it can also pop 2 cards instead of just 1. Mobius is insane. Saying again to search all our smaller cards. 2 copies of Spirit Reaper. This is nice because Joseph can't kill it in battle, and then we can tribute it for a Monarch, or if we're ahead, we can turn it to attack and hit cards out of his hand and be super aggressive. Spirit Reaper is one of the all-stars of this format. 2 copies of Thestalos. This is nice to rip the power cards out of Joseph's hand. Thestalos might be my favorite Monarch just because it can hit so many incredibly good cards that your opponent is keeping close to their chest, and if you drop the Stalos, then they may be in a world of trouble. We also have 1 Zaborg just to be able to clear annoying cards such as flip effect monsters, Spirit Reapers, and other big monsters that may be annoying for us to deal with. For the spells, Book of Moon, 1 Brain Control, 1 Confiscation, the newly unbanned Confiscation. This card is great. Pay 1,000 life points, look at your opponent's hand, and rip a card out of it. The hand knowledge is probably the best part, but taking a card for their trouble also isn't too bad. Dark Hole is also now unbanned too. This is one of the board wipes that we now have access to, and just a great card all around. Pretty fair card in this format. Heavy Storm. I'm playing 1 My Body as a Shield. One of the biggest issues is that if you're trying to get the big Monarchs to stick, you want to keep them around, so My Body can take care of Bottomless, it can take care of Saku, it can take care of Torrential, it can take care of Widespread Ruin, it can even stop like a Zaborg, so that's kind of cool. My Body can help us deal with a plethora of cards that can be rather annoying to deal with at times, so I figure teching in the 1 for this Monarch deck isn't too bad. 1 MST, Nobleman of Crossout, the newly limited, Premature Burial, Snatch Steal, and 2 copies of Soul Exchange. I think most decks would play something like Smashing Ground, but for Monarch specifically, you'd rather use the monster as a tribute to summon your Monarch rather than just smashing grounding it, and the thing is you can't smashing ground a set monster, so Soul Exchange is pretty good here. For the traps, 2 Bottomless, 1 called the Haunted, 3 Sakuretsu, 1 Torrential, and Widespread Ruin. Widespread Ruin's basically a 4th copy of Sakuretsu Armor, except the difference is it destroys the monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. That can actually be pretty good because if they attack with a lower attack monster and control like a Monarch or a Cyber Dragon, Widespread Ruin will actually kill the bigger card first, so that's actually not too bad. The extra deck's just a bunch of cards we're really not going to be playing. There is stuff like Cyber End and Cyber Twin that are legal now, but realistically, I don't see any way we're actually going to summon those. And then for the side deck, 2 copies of Kaiku. It's just a nice beater and can help against any sort of Chaos decks that might still be playing Chaos Sorcerer. We have 2 Legendary Jujutsu Master, a nice defensive card that makes Joseph think twice about attacking into our defense monsters and can really set him back. Mystic Swords in level 2 to deal with set monsters. We have Tsukiyomi to reset our flips and get more value. 1 copy of Zaborg in case we need more monster removal. 2 Dust Tornado and 2 Royal Decree for the more heavier, slower trap decks. 3 copies of Trap Dust Shoot. This card is still legal at 3, and then we also have a 2nd Widespread Ruin if we feel like we need more removal. I am super excited to play this format, so I'm not going to make you guys wait any longer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to duel. Joseph, you know what the worst part about Cybernetic Revolution is? Not the fact that Cyber Dragon completely ruins the format entirely, but the fact that we can't use the GOAT format lobby in Dueling Book anymore that automatically draws our cards and places them face down on the field. What a mockery.
Oh, that is really debilitating. Oh, gosh. Well, you know, at least I will remain confident in the fact that no matter what happens, no matter how many rulings we mess up, no matter how many times we forget to draw for turn, I can do it in the comfort of my own cotton shirt and not the disgusting shirt of shame that you are adorning for the second week in a row.
I was thinking, it's been a while since I've had the shirt of shame twice in a row.
It's been a long time.
It has been. So hopefully we're going to break that streak so that way we can flip-flop here. But let's go ahead and get started. I think people are excited to see the impact that Cyber Dragon truly had on the game. So best of luck to you, and we are going to go for it. Ooh, that 5 on the die coming in clutch. I don't want you to hear anything about...
The die roll.
Do I need to have a third camera that's showing the die as I roll it so people know that it's actually what it is?
People, please sound off in the comments if you think that Cimo is cheating when doing RPS. I have my own suspicions.
Everyone thinks that I am, but it's okay. But we have to shout out our patron. It's Shadow Dragon 1011. Thank you so much for the support. Joseph, good luck. I am going to draw for turn because otherwise I'm going to forget. And let's make something happen here. I'm just going to do a humble tea set and pass it on over to you.
Huh. All right, I will draw for turn. This is a weird one. All right, I got to ask, did you re-roll?
I did not re-roll.
Me neither.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, this is a hard one for sure. You know what? I liked your play. I think it's poggers. So I'm going to set myself a card, and we have completed the Chain Blast column.
Oh, fantastic. I'm going to MST your back row.
Okay, it's my body as a shield.
Oh, God. All right, I'll draw.
That was a very strange sentence.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting my body, if I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to go ahead and nobleman your set. Let's get rid of it.
Are you fucking with me?
Dekoichi!
Of course it's Dekoichi! Oh my god.
This time I do have some.
Thank God.
I will also be joining you in the banishment festivities. Are we going to be confirming? I only have 2.
Well, you don't have to confirm for me. I've got them all.
Yeah.
You know what? I trust you. I would like to live in fear for just a little bit longer.
All right. I'll flip up a Sangan. Go to battle. I'll hit you for 1,000.
No problem with me. I will gladly take that 1,000.
All right. I'll go to main 2. I'll just set a monster. I'll pass it over.
All right. I will draw for turn. Ooh, interesting. What would you be setting? So Sangan's really good. Dekoichi tells me a lot. There's no way this is a mirror. I guess it's possible.
It's possible. Remember, Nobleman doesn't hit from the hand either, so...
And if that's a Dekoichi, that's a Dekoichi. Not a lot I can do about it. Well, I feel pretty confident at minimum that you're not on Bazoo Return. This would be a very strange setup for that deck.
Oh, Limiter's not at 3 anymore? Oh. I might have to go and change some things.
God, I hope.
You're thinking real hard about one of the simplest board states we've had in a while.
I'm going to activate Soul Exchange, targeting your set monster.
Yeah, that's fine. You can attribute?
I will. Let's get out Thestalos.
It was my faith. I was really hoping that wasn't going to happen.
That's good. Let's see what that hand's got. This one.
This will probably give it away. It's a brain control.
Are we playing a mirror?
I think we're playing a mirror. When I saw my body, as soon as I saw my body, I'm like, no other list in this format conceivably will play a my body as a shield. I'll take 1,400 from the Thestalos and trigger Sangan.
Yeah, I figured the jig was up as soon as the my body hit the graveyard. I was trying to I was like, maybe Alex thinks I'm just a really bad like chaos control warrior player, but yeah, cat's out of the bag. I'm on Narc. I imagine you're on something similar.
Yeah, now I have to figure out how I'm going to navigate the Stalos here. I'm gonna grab myself a Spirit Reaper.
Now that is very strange because there is in this format a very easy out to every Monarch in Tsukuyomi. So that tells me you either have it in your hand or you're bad at deck building.
Could be one or the other.
Yeah, equally likely.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. You've been playing a pretty slow game over there. I feel like your hand might be a bit clogged. I'm going to go ahead and set myself a monster. I'm going to set myself a card face down. Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll just pass. Go ahead.
All right, so it's Spirit Reaper, and I think we are going to figure out why they call this Reaper format. I don't have a really good out to this card in my deck, unfortunately. I guess let's check. Attack your monster, Thestalos.
It is a DD Assailant,
What
and I will Ban.
Alex, this isn't Spirit Reaper! Oh, Jesus. All right, well, there goes Thestalos. He was
Happy to
not long
see
for
it.
this world. Okay, not too big of a deal, because now in main phase 2, I can play this confiscation I ripped off the top of my deck.
Oh, unfortunate. It's so funny. I was like thinking, oh yeah, I could just play around, you know, like Mobius by not setting my soul exchange, but you know, here we are.
Ah, dang. This is a weird one. So taking Mobius is very funny, for sure. You don't have a target for soul exchange. Spirit Reaper kind of exists to further the Monarchs, but I don't know how much I want to take the Monarch against Monarchs, right? You could just find another one.
Right, yeah.
If I take the soul exchange, you have to set Reaper and then tribute summon the Monarch. That sounds pretty bad. It happens over the course of 2 turns. If I take the Reaper, then I deserve to lose. Then there is no feasible way that I can win this game. All right, we are going to take the soul exchange.
Okay, it's gone.
All right, I'm gonna set 1 card and pass my turn.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to keep the soul exchange. I'll go ahead and draw, and a surprise to no one, I will just be setting a card, and I suppose I'll pass the turn.
I will draw for turn. Oh my gosh, what a rip. Oh, I'm so sorry, Alex. This was not my intention, but I did draw knock off the top.
Oh, it was the Spirit Reaper. No surprise there this time.
Oh gosh. Wow, this is a hell of a board state we've gotten ourselves into, huh? So you've got Mobius and 1 unknown in hand. I suppose I will flip summon Magician of Faith.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab back Confiscation.
Sure.
I guess we'll try it again. I'm not super excited.
All right, and here you go.
Widespread Ruin the Rip. Okay, that is
correct.
Not a problem for me, buddy.
I have a suspicion you've got a Mobius in hand, so I'm just like, I really don't want to just lose it instantly.
I'll take the Mobius.
Yeah, that basically just confirms it.
And then I'll get in for 300!
He really does not want to lose that Mobius.
It could be anything, Alex. It could be,
It could be absolutely anything. All right. That's an interesting draw. Now, the question is, I don't know what's in your hand. I will fire off Premature Burial.
Oh, okay. All right.
Pretty nice rip. I don't know what I want, though. Mobius is gigantic. Sangan potentially keeps me up a card. If I'm on that you have Mobius as one of the cards in your hand, if you had Thestalos, I think you would have just probably sacked it and just gotten me on no cards. Zaborg actually doesn't do anything at the moment, so I guess you might have a Zaborg too, potentially. If I go for the Mobius, I have you on a relatively short clock, depending on what the other cards in your hand are. Because if I just get 2 turns if I get a monster, and you don't have anything to set, which isn't bad. And you didn't set anything in the previous turn either, which isn't bad. I actually think I'm going to elect to get the Sangan just so because we're in a very low resource state, and I want to be able to keep a decent amount of cards here.
Right.
I'll go to battle. I'll hit the Faith for 7.
I'll take it.
And I'll just pass the turn.
I will draw. Yuck. Oh, that's gross. So, I know your card in hand, right? Or it's
Correct.
the one you drew for turn? No, it's the one that I know. It's Ruin?
And you didn't think this was going to be interesting, Joseph. Shame on you.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong. All right, I'm going to set 1 and pass my turn.
Oh, please give me a Mobius. That's not a Mobius. All right, hit for 1,000.
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay. All right, I got you on the 4-turn clock. Main 2.
Exactly.
All right. What am I afraid of now? That could be a myriad of things. What are the traps that we're playing? Bottomless, Saku. Could be a widespread ruin of your own, potentially, if you're that deep. What else? Call the Haunted. It's a pretty good one. I think I'm going to set a card in main 2, and I'll pass it over.
I'll draw for turn. Oh, that's a very strange one. All right, I'm going to premature here.
Pretty sick one. What's your target?
It's going to be Magician.
Sure.
Not exciting, but I do need to go for the Mobius here.
Oh, I called it. All right. So I'm going to hope that this is not a specific card, but I am going to Torrential in response here.
Oh, shit. Oh, that is so rough. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, it's not my body, thank God. All right, I'll trigger Sangan.
That's fine. Oh, I was
Okay,
hoping
so
you had just actually committed to the widespread ruin. Man, this is rough.
kind of want to play around some things here. I'm going to grab a Gravekeeper's Spy.
Spy. Sure, I'm gonna set one card and pass it back to you.
Okay. I'll draw. I'll be quite boring here, and I will just set myself a monster, and I'll set myself a face down. Go ahead.
Can I get a monster? That is not what I had in mind.
I mean, technically, it's a monster. You just weren't specific enough. I'll draw.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you set? Magician of Faith is limited, so those are all gone. Dekoichis are all banished. Could be a Sangan, potentially. What other cards would you play? Tsukiyomi, maybe? There's a few things. All right, I'm going to flip up my spy, trigger the spy.
That's fine.
All right, I will grab another spy. We'll throw this one in defense.
Sure.
I'll head to battle, and I will attack into your set.
It is a magical merchant.
Ooh, okay.
I wanted that.
Good.
Wanted that.
Good. Let's go.
This is going well. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly what I needed. Oh my gosh.
I'll go to main 2. I will set another card face down, and I'll pass.
I'll draw for turn. Oh, exactly what I wanted to see. I'll set 2 and I'll pass.
Okay. I'll draw. So I know you have MST, and I don't think I know a single other card that you have. Mirror Force is banned now, correct?
I'm not playing it.
Oh, okay, so I think it's banned. I hope it is. Otherwise, I'm not playing it either. So the only thing I'm really worried about at this point is potentially double Saku, or like Saku plus widespread again if he's on it. Yeah, I'm the aggressor here. I'll put it to attack. I'll go to battle. Let's see if we can hit him.
I do have a widespread, so I'll hit this guy if you'll allow it.
Sure. And then I will attempt to attack with the other one.
That's fine.
Okay, so that one got in. I'll go to main 2. I will set another card, and over to you.
Oh, the best rip in the game. Oh, I'm so good.
I'll draw.
I can't believe that magical merchant milled 5 monsters. I am livid.
I love it. I'll go battle phase.
Yeah.
Just hit for 12.
I will sack here.
Okay, so he has a sack. Sure. So now you have MST and one other card. I will pass.
So I know you have widespread ruin.
That's it.
It's the only one I know. That's so
I don't
shitty.
think you know anything else.
And this is the widespread ruin, is what I have you on.
You don't know if that's the widespread ruin.
That's my best guess.
Okay, you can infer it's the widespread ruin. You've been very wrong with your inferences the last few times, so...
I'm gonna MST the new set.
Okay, it was Sakuretsu armor.
Okay. I'm gonna Heavy Storm.
Okay, so there goes the Soul Exchange and the Widespread Ruin.
I'm gonna normal summon a Spirit Reaper.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
We're gonna get in for 300 here.
Let's go, baby. 50-50. Joseph loses the game immediately. Let's go!
You have an Assailant?
Damn it. Ah, you hit the Sidra out of my hand.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, my God. That would have been, oh, but I'm just the best player in the game and got another Cyber Dragon.
I could have said it, but why set it when you can be greedy? Another mirror! Another mirror! Oh my God, we're gonna have to find 15 decks again if we don't want this to keep happening.
This is what happens when we skim it down to 4 deck options, but like this is what they played back then.
I guess so. Well, best of luck to you, but I don't even know if I want to be going first. You can just exchange me out of the game.
All right, let's see it.
This is a rough one. Okay, I'm gonna set 2 and pass my turn.
All right, I'll draw. Got a dust shoot for me?
I do not.
No dust shoot. All right. Well, I'm going to start by firing Confiscation. It's my turn to do this now. Feels
Okay.
good. It's been quite a while. Let's see what you're working with.
Here's what I got.
Sidra, Preem, Dekoichi, Soul Exchange. Now, what's interesting here is that you still have Dekoichi in your hand. So either you drew multiple Dekoichi, or there's something else that you set that you want to keep out. Soul Exchange is powerful, so is Sidra. Sydra's not that good at the moment. Could also be a Sangan, I guess. Premature Burial is also quite strong. I think I'm going to elect to take the Premature Burial.
All right, to the grave it goes.
Okay. I'm going to activate Soul Exchange.
Ah. Okay, goodbye, Dekoichi.
And I'm going to bring out Thestalos, and it gets worse. So let's go ahead and hit a card out of your hand. We will hit this one.
Oh. Yeah. There goes my Sidra.
Okay, that's what we were hoping for. Now, it is Soul Exchange, so I cannot enter the battle phase. But, let's see. So your hand now is Soul Exchange Dekoichi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think I'll set myself a couple of cards face down and pass the turn.
One-time Mobius. Let's go. Was not one-time Mobius.
One-time Heavy Storm?
Ooh, I would take that too. I'm gonna set one card and pass, baby.
It could be literally anything.
Yeah. No. It's Magician of Faith.
Right. All right. So I'm going to assume that that is a Dekoichi. Still got one back row. Slightly concerning. Exchange Dekoichi. Dekoichi's going to net you another card. It's pretty bad. Not too much I can do about it. But all right. I will normal summon DD Assailant.
Sure.
I will go to battle.
Yes.
I will go Assailant into Dekoichi.
I'll Sakuretsu here.
Okay. And then we will attack Dekoichi with the Thestalos.
Yep.
All right. And I will pass it over. Go ahead.
One-time Mobius. Let's see it. Go ahead.
All right. So I just know Soul Exchange at this point, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I will draw. That's not bad. I will tribute Thestalos for Zaborg.
Oh, that is not good.
I will pop your monster.
I needed that.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. All right. We'll go to battle. Let's attempt to hit him with 24.
That's another sack.
Another sack. All right. Running pretty low on resources here. Suppose I'll pass. Soul Exchange, 2 unknowns.
Rough. Set one, pass, baby.
Fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll draw.
Tell me about it.
I really don't want to leave you with a monster. I'm going to fire off Call of the Haunted. Target Thestalos.
That's fine.
All right. Bringing the boy back out. And let's just go to battle hidden.
All right. It is a Magician of Faith.
Sure.
I'll get back Premature Burial here.
That's pretty good. All right. We'll go to main 2. I think I'll just pass the turn.
Draw. Oh, that is odd. Oh, that's very strange.
Did you get the Mobius?
No. Wow, that's really weird. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna Premature Burial here.
Sure. So you'll take 8.
I guess we'll get Dekoichi.
Sure.
I'm gonna Tribute Summon Zaborg.
Pretty good. In response, I will Bottomless. You will obviously still destroy Thestalos if you wish.
I'm trying. Okay, that's could be worse. I'll pass it back to you.
All right, I'll draw. I will set a card and pass. Go ahead.
Yes, now this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, a good one.
I'll draw. I guess I will just set and pass. Go ahead.
Another fantastic one. I'm gonna Soul Exchange here.
Yep, Magician of Faith again on the Soul Exchange.
Woo! Let's go, baby.
It is a Book of Moon, so I will book the Mobius.
All right, fine. I will pass my turn.
All right, I'll draw. Go to main. I will special summon Cyber Dragon.
There he is.
I will normal summon DD Warrior Lady.
My God. Okay.
Lady into Mobius. I will not banish, and I will hit you for 21.
That's a lot.
Go ahead.
Dark Hole.
That's pretty nice. Yep.
It's decent.
I got greedy. I got greedy.
Oh my God.
I'll draw. I'll set and pass. Go ahead.
Dekoichi.
That's pretty good. Sure.
Knock.
Oh no! It's my Gravekeeper's Spy, so
oh, thank God.
It's gonna get banished.
Okay.
Oh
no, I boarded out of them. Let's go.
Okay, I just got the 2.
I guess I'll get in for 14.
Sure.
This is a strange game we are playing today. I'll give you a sweet Heavy Storm if you have it.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna chain Mystical Space Typhoon targeting your Heavy Storm.
Sure, of course. All right, I'll just set and pass. Go ahead.
All right, go!
It is Spirit Reaper, so I'm not going to be taking anything here.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
All right, I'll draw. I'll just set and pass. Go ahead.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
Just pass again. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love it. Okay. That's actually quite bad. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in 15 turns, you are really going to feel the sting, buddy.
Go ahead.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna try for Thestalos here.
Yeah, so you got brain control, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I guess. I still can't out Spirit Reaper.
It's fine. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll go to main 1. Go ahead.
This rocks. This is so cool.
Isn't this fantastic? I love this format. I'll set and pass. Go.
You telling me there's something I can attack? Oh, absolutely,
there is.
Buddy. Let's go.
All right, I will attempt to Saku here.
That's unfortunate. I'm gonna try for my body.
That resolves. Okay, so you'll take 15. Thestalos lives. It was a Dekoichi, so I will get to draw.
That sucks. Second main, I'm gonna Confiscation.
Ooh, yep, that's pretty good.
Oh,
There's some good ones.
I think I have to take the Thestalos here.
Sure, of course.
And you are good to go.
All right, I'll draw. It's okay, but not good enough. I'll set. Go ahead.
So that's Saku. Ooh. Okay.
Mobius? Ooh, not bad. So in response, I will torrential. You have a second my body?
I don't.
Okay, so they're gonna go. It was the Saku.
And the card in hand is unknown, correct?
Correct.
Damn, that sucks. All right, I'll pass.
Go ahead. Oh, that's not good. Go.
Sangan!
That's pretty
Attack
nice.
my opponent!
I'll take the 1,000.
I got you on the 6-turner.
All right, I will bring out Cyber Dragon.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, now we've gone through a lot of cards.
we have gone through a ton of cards.
All right, so you've gone through a total of 2 Sakus.
Yes.
All of your Dekoichis are actually gone, hysterically enough.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I've used all 3 Dekoichis.
I'm gonna go battle phase, try to hit Sangan.
This is 11. I go to 15. That sucks
Correct.
so bad. I'm gonna ruin here.
Sure. Main 2. 1 card in hand. I don't know what it is, correct?
That's right.
Normal summon breaker.
All bottomless.
Okay, I figured that's what it might be. I will set 1 and pass. Go ahead.
Fool! You cannot hope to defeat my Sangan. I don't know if I'm even doing this. Hold up. This is
Okay,
stupid.
okay. I got ahead of myself. Fine.
I'm gonna tribute summon Cyber Dragon like an idiot.
Okay,
I'll trigger Sangan here.
sure.
I'm gonna grab Spirit Reaper.
Okay.
Then I'll get in for 21.
Okay, so I'll take 21.
Go ahead.
That would have been cool. I'll fire off Dark Hole.
Boo.
I will set and pass.
Oh, you think you can set and pass? Well, behold my set and pass.
It's probably the Reaper. I'll draw. Let's flip Dekoichi. Draw a card.
Go ahead, buddy.
I was really hoping it was something else. Okay. Well, let's verify that this is in fact the Reaper.
It is the Reaper.
Okay, sure. I'll go to main 2. I will set myself 2 cards face down. I'll pass the turn.
I appreciate the heavy storm, dude. It's very...
Oh, I forgot you still had the heavy. I saw the Mobiuses in the MST. Okay, it's Saku and Soul Exchange. Shit!
2 good ones, and unfortunately, I think this is going to be it. Give me your Dekoichi.
Okay.
And goodbye, Sphere Reaper. Hello, Thestalos. Let's get to
Wow.
game 3, baby!
Yeah, game 3.
This
You
game
got
was
it.
terrible.
You got
This
it.
sucks so bad.
Joseph, how was that game only like 13 minutes? That felt like an hour with all the passing and doing nothing that we did.
We were playing speed Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh man, that was something.
I guess.
I wouldn't
guess.
call it like something good, but it was something.
I would disagree. I mean, I thought that was interesting, but we'll talk about that later. I'll go first. Good luck, buddy. It's going to be an interesting one, and I will draw for turn.
All right, this is already strange.
I will start with a humble set and pass. Nothing exciting.
I'll draw for turn. Oh, well, that's a little different. I'm going to special summon a Cyber Dragon!
How does it feel?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, now I see why this card was $900. Then I'm going to normal summon a Spirit Reaper. We're going to get very greedy
Ooh,
here. Do not recommend
very
this.
greedy.
Don't recommend
Okay.
this. We're going to attack with Cyber Dragon.
Okay, so it is a Dekoichi, so I do get to draw a card
The
before I
greed
lose a card
pays
inevitably to
off!
Spirit Reaper.
Get him out of here. Okay, 6 cards in hand. This is going to be a cinch. Give me this one.
I'm going to shuffle my hand first just because I just drew.
Oh, yeah, okay. Then
All right.
I'm rolling.
All right, roll for it.
Give me this one.
It's not bad. It is a DD Assailant. It's pretty good.
I'm going to set 1 card, and you are good to go, my friend.
All right, I'll draw. This is a pretty sweet Dark Hole, so I don't think I can pass this up.
My body is a shield.
That's, you know what? If he has it, he has it. I won't complain. All right, now what do we do?
Now that we've gotten our celebratory, do you have the My Body? Do you have the Dark Hole? Okay, now let's continue playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
I have a Cyber Dragon of my own,
Sure.
which is pretty good. I will tribute it for a Thestalos.
Ooh, wow, my hand is really good, so this is very bad news for me.
I'll rip a card out of your hand this time. Would you like to shuffle first?
No, that's fine.
Okay, so I'll hit this one.
Come on, man.
Hey, I asked if you wanted to shuffle first. I don't want to hear it. I'll hit over the side draw.
What the hell are you doing? Look at all the damage you could do. Oh, come on.
Yeah, we're not letting that happen. I will pass. Go ahead.
All right, well, Good.
Okay. I'll draw.
Yep.
Now, this is interesting.
As we found out last game, outing Spirit Reaper without something like a Thousand Eyes Restrict is no easy task.
I'm going to normal summon Breaker.
Oh, that's a much easier task. That's fine.
Activate the effect to get the counter.
Well, yes, that's also fine.
Activate the effect to pop the back row.
Okay, it's Torrential Tribute. I am very greedy.
Okay. I'm going to brain control your Spirit Reaper, which kills it.
Okay, so now we are just dead, I see.
Not dead, but pretty close to it. I'll hit you for 4,000 damage, and I will pass the turn.
All right, one-time Dark Hole. Perfect. Okay, let's try this.
All right, I'll draw. Okay, let's think. Torrential's gone. There's no Mirror Force in the format. What do I just lose to? Saku saves you for a turn. So does Ruin. And I know you're on Ruin. Bottomless is something that can also mess with things. I think if I do this, I win the game. I'm going to normal summon Spy.
Yes.
Battle phase.
Yes.
I will hit with Spy.
I'll take 12.
I will hit with Breaker.
It is Book of Moon. My hand is 2 Thestalos.
Oh, that's rough.
I did not have a good setup here. Well, you know, it do be Yu-Gi-Oh! That's just the way it is.
I honestly think people don't give this specific format enough credit. It's like, yes, Cyber Dragon's insane. Yes, right. Cyber Dragon completely warps the way that you play the game. But personally, and maybe it's just because this is what I grew up playing. This was my... I grew up playing, you know, during Yadalock and Magical Scientist. But when I was really old enough to start going to locals very frequently, this is the type of Yu-Gi-Oh! I was playing. It can be very fast and you win the game out of nowhere, but it can also just be very slow and just... I love this. I love this type of Yu-Gi-Oh! So much. And, you know, people could fight me about it, but I think this is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had some lines that were maybe a little different that I could have done. Just torrentialing your board probably was better than not doing it. But in general, I think I'm still playing like it's GOAT format. And I'm like, oh no, right. I need to be eking advantage out of every individual card. I can't go for these big blowouts because my opponent could have a big blowout too. But the cap on what you're allowed to do is way, way lower this format. And, right. I think just like playing for one huge haymaker is good enough for the most part. This is a weird format, and I don't think we really got to see as much of it as I would have liked just by virtue of us playing the mirror match.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff here. Spirit Reaper being a power player is markedly different than pretty much every other time it's been legal, just because there were enough removal tools. Yeah. Very odd one. Not
even the removal tools, though. Like, Scapegoat getting limited made it so difficult for a Reaper or even a Don Zalug to punch in if you're looking at the more Warrior Toolbox-oriented deck. And so, with Goat being limited, sure, decks might still opt to play a single copy of it, but it's not the card you're always worried about running into, as opposed to when it was at 2 or 3 copies. And so, when you have that paired with, you know, the newly unbanned Confiscation, when you have Thestalos, which I honestly don't think people give Thestalos enough credit for how strong of a card this is.
He's like, so good.
It's so strong. Being able to rip the best cards out of your opponent's hand is just so debilitating for your opponent to come back from. We got to see this both times for us on both sides, where there was times where I Thestalos you and it was pretty impactful, and the same for me. And yes, while Mobius and Zaborg are still perfectly powerful in their own right, I think Mobius also too gets even more stronger in this format, considering we're playing a ton of Sakus, we're playing even widespread Ruin. We're that deep on this that Mobius can actually very easily hit for 2 and survive.
Traps that aren't really chainable are kind of everywhere here. And,
right.
Wow, Mobius is such a house. Oh, he's unbelievable. I think that one thing that I kept coming across and reading up about this format is that there's a very low cap on monsters, you know? 2,400 is about exactly as big as things get. And that's why decks like Bazoo were playable, because if a monster could get to 25, it was bigger than anything in the format. And the thresholds being different, you know, even something as small as that just has such an impact on gameplay. I'm really excited to see how this turned out. And I don't think this is the last we're going to be seeing of any of the Monarchs, any of these really powerful sort of dark flip Warrior Toolbox engines that just sort of of exist until the end of time.
No, not at all. And think about what cards we don't have to worry about anymore, right? I mean, Blackluster Soldier is banned. So you don't have to worry about your opponent out of nowhere just clapping you with BLS for 6,000 damage. You don't have to worry about Delinquent Duo or Graceful Charity or Pot of Greed, which I know you're over the moon about that I don't have the access to play those cards anymore.
Yep.
But in exchange, we do get some nice haymakers back, such as Confiscation and Dark Hole. And to be fair, I think on the power scale, these cards are much further down compared to the aforementioned cards. But I still think Confiscation in of its own right in this particular format isn't insanely broken. You know, Duo was good because it could hit 2 cards out of your opponent's hand, even if one of them were random. 1 for 2 is just absurd. And yes, you get the hand knowledge with Confiscation, but I still think to a degree, Confiscation is like somewhat balanced when the format is not as fast as, you know, modern Yu-Gi-Oh might be today.
Notably, the person who drew Confiscation lost 2 games in a row. It's definitely a good card, for sure, but it is nowhere near as good as some of the other staples that were available in the previous format. And like you said, you know, modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is such a different beast, you know? You have cards that start your plays that are paramount to keeping in your hand. This is not that. You know, if you lose a Jujitsu Master or Thestalos or something, you can be sure that the game is going to last another 10, 15 turns, and you'll have another chance to find one.
Unfortunately for people who did enjoy this style of Yu-Gi-Oh, we're not exactly exiting this time period, right? Next up is Elemental Energy, and Elemental Energy, again, isn't a super high impact set. It does introduce the Dark Worlds for the first time, which aren't as powerful as people might think when they initially think of Dark Worlds, but they did make an impact on the game thanks to cards such as Dark World Lightning, allowing you to get gold onto the field, which is just a 2,300 body, and that's massive. You have Pot of Avarice actually entering the game now, which is just a nice recovery tool. Imagine if we had Avarice in this game, and when we got to that game 2, and you and I were 27 cards deep into our deck, and Avarice could have easily just shifted the game around for one of us.
Oh, yeah.
And back then, Avarice, when, you know, Pot of Greed was just recently banned, you know, about a year or so later, and then we get Avarice, I think people were super happy to be able to play a pot card once again.
Yeah, there always must be a pot is the old adage, and it truly does swing games even as late as this. I'm glad you mentioned the Dark Worlds. They're my favorite thing to come out of Elemental Energy. Playground behemoths, but in terms of competitive play, they really did not do too much. You all probably remember Dark Worlds as the 2011 deck that used Grapha to middling success way back when problem-solving card text was just getting announced. Dark Worlds in 2006 are notably less impressive. They do very little. They're one of the first decks that really cheats the special summoning limit, dumps a bunch of guys on the field at once, and they just fall flat on their faces. Gold is the only one that sees any sort of play. A couple are in side decks against opposing hand control, but their applications are pretty few and far between.
I will say it does change the dynamic from the perspective of hand control and cards such as Spirit Reaper, and maybe even to a degree Confiscation if you have like a gold as the only card in your hand, because if your opponent doesn't know that you have gold, and so like say for instance in this game 3 that we just played, if you Reapered me and I had a gold and that's what you discarded, well, again, talk about a tempo shift. I now have a monster that can contest the Cyber Dragon and the Spirit Reaper without even having to commit to a normal summon.
Yes.
So it does change how people have to think about when they're going to be doing these attacks. Typically, people would always still just Spirit Reaper anyway, because I would say it was the minority that actually played this sort of Dark World package in these types of decks. But as you said, they weren't going full-blown Dark World. Gold was the best. Silva, I think, was played to a smaller degree because Gold is just the better of the two. And then, again, Dark World Lightning to help facilitate that and act as additional copies of, like, Mystical Space Typhoon, which is currently limited in this format and can also just pop set monsters, too, which isn't bad.
I will say Silva's secondary effect is the most satisfying thing to resolve in the history of time. The shuffle 2 cards from your opponent's hand. Oh my god. Oh, double Forceful Sentry? Yeah, it's all right. Ugh. Just beautiful.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the History of Yu-Gi-Oh! Elemental Energy is next, and I know you guys are looking forward to it. Be sure to stay tuned. Thank you all so much for watching the video, and we have to shout out our patrons as always. So big shout outs to Shadow1317, Sean Alling Jr., Tim00x3, Joshua Wiley, Neo Cypher Slacker, Pony Stark, Angayoko, Michael Dente, Ole, Shotagonist, Rasmus, Ika Ironfang, Mystic Walk, Dan the Man Hoban, Part 2, Sylvia Wilds, Synchro Guy, Brian Dancer, GW, Dolly Wop, Dragon Lord, Jarvis Spartan, Logan Thomas, Peter Gregory, Thomas Nelson, Daniel Baker, Emil Cohen, Draconic, Jordan Coons, Iron Bladesman, Pure Ace, Icky Lights, Inyo Taisho, Jesse Wood, True Nerdgasm, Benjamin Fuller, Brother Paul, Chris Hood, Lumpy, Nehru Celeste, Shane Reese, Rockley325, JM Church, Lane Rogers, and Peruvian's Finest for YGC 2021. Thank you all so much for watching again, and we will see you next time.